Hello everybody. Wanted to do a little cut test here on this S90V of my recent batch. This is my model SC and it's quite thin. 0.11 stock thickness, just under 10 thou behind the edge. This one's just a natural canvas micarta, and I've cut up some boxes to a certain point here so that they're all flat edges, and now I'm going to keep cutting. So I hope everyone's doing well, and we're going to get started. Again, I've done quite a bit of cutting with this already just to show it sharp. Got some newsprint here. And you can see it's very sharp. This is S90V at 61 or just under. And it's really an aggressive cut. But you can tell by the sound probably. I've got away from putting sharpening coils on them because then you can cut right up to the edge here, you know. And I think I prefer that. And this has done a lot of cutting already. I went to 600 grit on diamond stones. I like to hand sharpen them when possible. When they're thin enough, I hand sharpen. And this is just single layer cardboard, which is pretty consistent from cereal boxes, Coke boxes. And this S90V I've been really impressed with this, with the performance of this stuff. I mean, it just seems to keep cutting, and it's nice and stainless. I just love that sound. And it's a really aggressive toothy edge. I like to shape the blade with the belt going this way, like a 60 grit belt, before heat treat. And then once I get it back from heat treat, finish the grind off. And I feel like it gives it these micro serrations for the first couple of resharpenings that really performs well. I may fast forward some of this because it's going to take a little while. And this is sharp. If you have diamond stones, this sharpens really nicely as well. I don't find it hard to sharpen at all. It's different than something like a carbon steel, but with decent stones, it's not a problem at all. And I always go for comfort, real basic handle designs, no hard edges. Just nice, smooth comfort. This model, about a 3 3/4 inch blade, which is a handy size. Nice belly. I have a few other models available in the S90V as well. And if anyone out there is interested, please send me an email. Satisfaction guaranteed, as always. Some of these are double layer. They're all pretty much boxes that I've already cut them out into these smaller pieces with the same knife and haven't sharpened it. For instance, this one's a double layer with some sort of glue in between. And it just zips through this stuff. It's kind of like a matter unzipper. Has a really nice feel to it as well. Sorry for the little bit of road noise, it is what it is here. Milk bones for the dog. Getting warmed up. Blade gets some of the friction actually gets warm. And again, this particular knife is available if anyone's interested. Of course, it'll be hand resharpened. After the test. And cleaned up. That one was a little bit thicker. That cardboard there is a little thicker. This one is too. But this S90V I really like. I'm really a fan. Doesn't take much maintenance and just keeps cutting with a nice aggressive edge. Brad over at Peter's does a really good job heat treat on every steel I've used. He's done a stellar job of heat treat. It's pretty incredible, really. He is a very knowledgeable dude, and they're local to me here. I drop them off. They're about 15-20 minutes away, right down the road, Meadville, Pennsylvania, which is nice because I can talk to them and give them feedback, and if I want something specific done, we can discuss it easily, which is really nice. And he's always willing to talk. Plus, I don't have to wait for shipping back and forth, which is nice. This thing's got multiple layers, as you can see. Phone ringing. Testing with this steel does take a long time to see any noticeable degradation in the edge, which is kind of a bummer. But it's good for the end user, because as you can see, it just keeps cutting. There's no shortcuts though. Once you get a block of time to do it, I don't mind doing it. It's just a matter of getting the time. Oop. It'd be nice if you could measure the distance cut here somehow. I think it would be quite surprising if you were to measure it in feet or yards or meters. I think it'd be a fairly high number. But no, there's no good way to do that, unfortunately. Multiple layers on this one, 3 or 4 looks like. Some sort of glue in the middle. Hold it together. I went back to part-time knife making. I was doing it full-time, but and I'd love to do it full-time still, but it's just a matter of the cash flow. Just not feasible at this point. Hopefully down the road. Crunch berries here. That one gave a little resistance. down to the less than ideal pieces now. Smaller and box ends, etc. But if you had a sharpening choil here, you couldn't really dig into it without getting caught on that. So I've come around to no sharpening choil. Is my preference at this point. Sharpening choil just causes problems, and it is possible to, you know, sharpen without it. And I think performance suffers quite a bit if you add one. A little bit of adhesive on there. So this is S90V canvas, brown canvas micarta, and 316 tubes and pen. Really comfortable. It's a bare bones design. It's not too fancy, but I designed for function first, and form follows, mostly with the lines. A nice, clean, smooth lines, appealing lines on a basic design is what I'm shooting for. Because it's a, I make tools, they're tools first and foremost. Obviously you always want them to look cool, and that plays a part in it. And I also consider it almost as much, but you're limited. If you want something that's going to work good, you really are limited as far as how crazy you can get. If you want it comfortable in all grips and want it to be a useful tool. Got fall coming now. I always like to change the seasons. I even like the snow, but I could go with a, I could do with winter being a little bit shorter than it is here in Pennsylvania. But at least we get our snow, sometimes a white Christmas. We're getting there, boys. No real noticeable drop in performance that I can tell. Maybe a tiny bit. But really minimal, I mean. Still feels really aggressive. We'll test it on the paper here once I'm done. Getting down to the scraps now. Yeah, we might be about down to it. Although we've done, this is a lot of cutting. Get a couple more of these tough ones here. Still very aggressive feeling edge. Oop. I think we're about to the bottom. These are, you can't really cut those tops. So I'd say we're out of material. Give her a test on the newsprint here. And it does feel a little more aggressive now. Maybe it's a little toothier. You can hear it. It is aggressive. Most of it was right down in this area here. Newsprint's a little bit wet. Yeah, she's still sharp. She'll cut for a long time still. You can really hear from the sound though, she is aggressive. So yeah, very nice. If you want to cut for a long time, this is a great option. All my knives come with a Kydex sheath, unless you don't want one. I don't have to make one. So again, this is the model SC. Just a working knife with a working finish. Comes with a Kydex sheath. You can hear it's got very good retention. And yeah, I'm real happy with this steel. That was a lot of cutting. And she fared really well. So yeah, if anyone out there is interested or has any questions or just wants to talk, send me an email. I'll put it down in the description. I hope you're all doing well, and we'll see you on the next video.